I'm the Dids. For the next X amount of time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to make an edit, and I'm going to make it look good, and it's going to turn out pretty nice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to split this up into segments and episodes, and I'm not quite sure how it's going to work out splitting it wise until I obviously go through and do it. But what I plan on doing is right now this first segment I plan on just making an OCE out of this 4-feed clip I found and am going to use, and the song that I shall link and give proper credit to and all that good stuff. But it's just a really good clip and a really good song, and I really have been wanting to do another somewhat of an edit because I really haven't made a new one for Black Ops 2 yet, and there's a lot of things that I've learned lately, a lot of tips and tricks, not necessarily tips and tricks, but things that I want to try and stuff that I want to do. I was going to do that song, but that didn't work out too well. And the reason why it's already kind of in here and stuff is because I want to make sure that it would work, because these 4 kills are very close to each other. As you can see, 4 kills within about a 4 to 5 second time frame. So you gotta find a beat that's really, really tight, and this song features that and will work wonderfully with that. So let's get started. I'm going to kind of, I don't want to say this in a bad way, but I'm kind of going to be boring just because I'm going to go through and showcase how I do stuff and what I do, and it's just kind of going to be me blabbering and stuff like that. But let's just see how that sounds with a little fade in. That should be pretty good. Pretty good if you ask me. So let's start with, I forgot to bring in my logo. Here we go. Drop that in. Scale it down. Not like that. That's bad. So it's not necessarily a good background color. Like this black isn't necessarily correct. So what you can do so we can start with some curves, actually. Curves or levels, it really doesn't matter. We can kind of boost it a little bit, make it look a little bit brighter, more gray, boost the mids, mid-highs, put in some looks, and we'll kind of play around, see what we think looks good. Now I must say that that looks really funny and weird, because it's not at all what it should look like. But this is going to be kind of me fiddling around, and it's not all going to look necessarily perfect in any regard. There's going to be a lot of mistakes that I'm going to make, and I'm going to be the first to admit it. But this is going to be a process of me getting back into the editing and making it into video formats. I don't really think that does anything. It really doesn't do anything. So I'm going to leave that out for rendering purposes. So like I said, this is going to be a lot of mistakes and a lot of things that I'm going to do unusually, and probably going to ditch a lot of stuff too, but that is okay. So I see a lot of people making, like Baker's Tuts, I know does this a lot. He'll make essentially his intros with this whole put the logo and spread it out. I think 315 should be good. Then boom, 500. So let's just see how that looks. It's probably going to look kind of weird because of how the mask is constrained. So I might have to change that in some way. But we shall see how it turns out. It may actually turn out decent, and it might just look good. If not, we can just use text, maybe with like a lens flare flash. I mean, I have nothing of this done live, so there's going to be a lot of things I'm planning, a lot of things that won't turn out the way that I expect them to, and a lot of things of that nature, and a lot of lagging, because this obviously isn't the best of devices to be doing this on. I actually did some research on the processor that is in here, and it is awful. processor that I'm going to soon be purchasing will be over 3 times performance as opposed to this. So please, I apologize, but bear with me. I'm going to have to ditch the CC lens on the logo itself. That doesn't mean I'm going to ditch the whole logo. What we're going to do is we're going to use some text. I use square font. I don't think you can type in this program. Square font. I use this a lot. It kind of looks good. Let's do that color, whatever you want to call it. Let's boost it up. Boom. There should be an align. I'm going to bring up my align panel. Centered. Now we can put some CC lens onto this here. Oops, it's already there. And then we can go from 0, 1 second in, boom. Kind of 170 it. And then 3 seconds, max it out. Bring it to half just for the sake of this going faster, and we can see how that turns out. It needs to be way faster than that. So, if I'm not mistaken, it's Alt, and that kind of just collapses everything. We'll see how that turns out. Still a little bit too slow. Oh, now I want to hold Alt to constrain. So usually about 1 second, I guess. It's going to end up being the good process, but I'm going to drag this out to like 1.5 seconds. Yeah, that looks good. And then what we can do, where can we put this that it won't look weird? Let's first center it. Oh, I know what I can do. Let's do this. So we have my name, or channel name, my alias. Then we can snap that with the open bracket button. Alt close bracket here. And then from 2 to 3 we can make an adjustment layer, Command or Control Alt Y. And then we can go to lens flare. I don't have a lot of Video Copilot things that a lot of people do have, things of that nature. I apologize. So Alt open, Alt end bracket there. Make this 105. Put the center to 640 and 360. That should be good. Flare brightness we'll play with in a little bit. So we'll keyframe it. Then we'll go to 215 right here where that pops in. 100% or 300%. Then shift to snap. Boom, back down to 0. So essentially you get this nice little flash. And then if we hold U, we can hold Alt or function. I want to say it's F9. Yep. F9 is your easy ease, which essentially means instead of it being a straight, let me see if I can show you. Instead of that being straight like that, with the easy ease, F9, oops, you gotta highlight it. It turns into a curve, so it goes in gradually and just looks a lot nicer. So let's also, in addition, wiggle the logo. Nothing too serious. So hit P, Alt click on the stopwatch. I said stopwatch. Stopwatch. Let's do wiggle 2 and 2. Should be extremely subtle. I forget which one is which. I think the second one is times per second or something. Oh, no. Second one is amount. So let's do 2 and then 100. And that should just be a really quick wiggle jitter. So let's see how that looks.